Scorpio, your September 2025 forecast is likely to throw up some big options, some life choices, which can be truly empowering, but also somewhat daunting if we have to make a yes or no, a turn in the road. It may be about your long-term plan, it could be about your friendships, it may be about a romantic situation, or perhaps it's about your creativity, your flair. The month begins with Saturn, the master of cycles, starting the last of his through your fifth house, very much to do with where you represent the best of your talent, through to the middle of February next year. It winds up a whole 29.5-year cycle by that time. But if you have been feeling over the last couple of years that you've worked feverishly on expressing your gifts, and it does feel that that hasn't been completely heard or recognised, roll up your sleeves, use your grit and determination to keep pushing away. Persistence is so important. But also on the 2nd, Mercury, the quick-witted planet of the zodiac, moves into the second of its two residencies of Virgo. Here for you, it's the 11th house, so it is about your longer term plan, but it can also be about your network, your highest hopes. It may be about your friendships. Now it's going to go on to forge a delicious link with the Sun, which peaks on the 13th, the Cazimi. If you have got an idea which you're really inspired by, and it pushes you to perhaps shift away from something you have been working on, it could manifest itself powerfully at that time. But also on the 6th, Uranus, the planet which is exalted in Scorpio, does go into a retrograde in your 8th house. Through to the early part of February next year, but through to the first week of November this year, Uranus is still in a part of your situation which has an echo of your energies, the 8th house. That 8th house can be about shared finance, can be about long-term financial planning, can be about where we're most invested in an intimate way. But of course, Uranus likes freedom and can also be a disruptor. If something isn't quite working for you in terms of a close relationship, or you feel that someone's being a bit possessive or controlling, that Uranus retrograde is going to see you want to think very carefully about what to do. Now, through the first 3 weeks of this month, Venus, the planet of relating, which is in a very visible part of your chart, the 10th house from the off, forges a dazzling link with the Sun. Your ability to negotiate with influential people is definitely blessed by that, but also Jupiter, the planet of fortune, but also the planet of spirituality through its rulership of Pisces, is in a great location early in the month, and from about day 5 through to the end of the 2nd week is linking very animatedly with the Sun. If you are feeling very excited about who you can collaborate and cooperate with, and you're prepared to flex, because the sign of Virgo is a mutable sign, so the more we can just bend, the better it can be, for sure. But what we do have on the 7th is a lunar eclipse. So this is where the Sun and the Moon are opposite one another. Therefore, they're not integrated, they're in a sense competing. So with the Sun, with Mercury pretty close, the Sun is about being a bit more detached. It's also about friendship, can be about your idealism. But on the other side of the heavens, the North Node aligning with the lunar eclipse and the recently arrived Saturn are reminding you to do what you need to do for you, the individual. And that's where these choices can start to manifest. And you may feel at some level that you have to give something up to get something else. And that could be what causes the big choice to be made. Now, as Mercury peaks in that alliance with the position of the Sun, you may have a brainwave. It could be very, very progressive. It may be how you can work with other people. But it then moves on and goes face to face with Saturn. Now that can be quite testing. And what we have then is Mercury on the 18th moves into a very psychological part of your scope. Guess what? Joining up with your traditional ruler Mars, which all through September through to the 22nd is occupying your 12th house, which could mean, despite the very handsome set of influences that are showing up, there may be times this month when your mood and your emotions could be a little bit up and down, particularly if there are past issues or experiences that you're still to fully process, because sometimes we can visit a subject, we can work very, very hard on it, we can release it, maybe even talk it through with a professional or counsellor or life coach, but still it can be very rooted in the depth of our being, and that's what Mars in the 12th house can do. So Mercury joining up with Mars in this location, even if it's relatively brief, because Mars is about to join your sign on the 22nd, suggests there may be some memories or conversations that are very much linked to your past. But on the 19th, Venus moves out of that glamorous journey through Leo, but into the friendly 11th house. Venus here reminds us to celebrate what we have in common, not the things that make us different. But of course, the sign of Virgo, Venus not absolutely at its best, can take the shine off a relationship if you don't feel it's really for the long term. And if it is something that's been on your mind for some while, since the start of Virgo season, with that first new moon, what we have with the solar eclipse on the 21st, in its direct, grating, abrasive opposition with Saturn, you could be pushed to really finalise what you need to do. Now, Mars moving into your sign on the 22nd is going to give you extra desire to make decisions on your terms. But just be aware, he does clash straight away with your modern ruler Pluto. So the last week of this month could be somewhat turbulent. Maybe there's part of you that wants to seize control. Push back if you feel that someone is trying to dominate your agenda. But with the autumnal equinox also on the 22nd, just be conscious, with also Mercury still in Libra, the psychological part of your situation is still very important. But I feel after the drama of Mars making its way through Libra, the Sun moving into Libra gives you a chance to find greater peace and tranquility and equilibrium, but it just may not show up straight away. So if you're not sure about a friendship, not sure about a love relationship, and it's been simmering away with that deeply rooted Mars, I feel as Mars and Pluto clash as the month comes to a close, there could be some almighty battles of will. The important thing to understand with Mars and Pluto is our motives, but also if it's a case of you wanting in some ways to control the situation and get the outcome that entirely suits you, someone could push back on that, just being really honest. It may be about a property matter with Pluto in the 4th. It may be to do with your emotions, but I feel that Mars moving into your own sign is for the good. It's just the delicacy of the 12th house is still coming through with both Mercury and the position of the Sun. But Mercury is about conversation. It can be about listening, but of course in Libra it can be about the to and fro. And one of the good things about Mercury in Libra is pushing us to be a bit more detached if someone sees something in a different way. But if a painful matter has come up, or there is a clash towards the end of this month, or you feel unsure about what direction to take, as the month comes to a close, dive in deep within yourself, which, remember, you have a talent to do, can unlock the solution. But it may still feel that if you go for one particular option, it may mean that you have to move away from something else that still has something about it that you're attracted to. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please check out my testimonials below. Please also check out my new website at patrickarundell.com. You can download your free natal chart with a stunning free interpretation. Enjoy my wonderful 3 free card tarot, or sign up for your free daily horoscope fired to your device each day.